Hey everyone, it's our very first podcast. This is Team...
Natasha, Justin.
No, you say Natasha, I say Justin. This is Team...
Natasha.
And Justin. I forgot this time. Anyways, we're bringing you a show today. It's called From the Boardroom to...
The Writer's Room.
Yes, and it'll be a daily show every day, 15 minutes, so, you won't waste any of your time. So let's get right into it. Who are we? And why the fuck are you listening to this?
For those of you who remember our other podcast.
No one remembers it.
Don't
even bring it up. I will choke you out right now.
As you can see, some things haven't changed since our last podcast. But
yes, I don't mean that in a bad way. We cuddle most of the time.
So
anyway,
what our podcast is about is us telling you stories from what our life was like as executives at Fortune 500 companies.
No, it's not.
To our adventures of becoming television writers.
Our story is about, and this podcast is about our journey. Two New Yorkers who quit their executive jobs, drove across the goddamn country to Los Angeles to become television writers.
That is correct.
That's what the show is about. But it's also about daily events that happen. It seems like every day there's something new happening in this weird-ass town.
What? How do you call it?
Hollyweird. So anyway, today we're just going to do a quick introduction, and it will be fun. We'll talk about some very high-profile people that we have meetings with, our journey,
How many times are you going to say journey? They're going to have to start taking shots every time you say the word journey.
Well, they're a good band. Why not say it over and over again?
But
So anyway, that's what this show is going to be about. So Natasha, what do you want to talk about today?
I think let's talk about what everybody else is talking about in Hollyweird, which is the weirdness around the harassment claims, especially being a former HR executive. I can definitely speak on the matter.
Yes, she could definitely tell you exactly what's going on and how the infrastructure in Hollywood is, how would you say it?
Well, I think it's lacking. That's how I would say it.
It's goddamn awful.
It's, I think one of the key things is that today Fox announced is that they're creating a committee of about 20 to 21 people outside of the Fox organization to deal with workplace violations and inclusions and so forth, which I think is hysterical that they had to wait this long to create an organization or a committee to deal with things like that going on. It makes you wonder, you are a huge Fortune 500 company. What were you doing before that? How did you handle these things? Literally, it sounds like these people are running a mom and pop shop. Sodom and Gomorrah.
Well, it's just kind of ridiculous in 2017 that we have some of the most elitist people, such as the person who I want to talk about, Charlie Rose.
Why do you want to talk about Charlie Rose?
Because guess what happened today?
8 people came forward and accused him of harassment?
Yes. And I have to say I was a fan of his, and I thought he did a very good job with his interviews, but, something like this coming forward, I think that we have to take a much bigger look at who's giving us our news. This guy was a very prominent man. Actually, I told you, I met him walking into a building in the Upper East Side, and he did have some creepy-ass vibes.
Well,
that's for freaking
I saw
sure.
him all the time on the Upper East Side. I sat at a table across from him. What was that restaurant? Blue something on Lexington? I see everybody knows him on the Upper East Side, but the funnier thing is this. You're questioning our news based on him, then what do you call the whole Fox News division then?
Oh, I just farted.
In my face.
That was funny. I like that.
Well, Fox News is a fart, so figures he would fart then. But look at it that way. So why aren't we questioning Fox News? Why
aren't we questioning? We're questioning everyone.
But are you questioning Fox News also?
I'm questioning everyone. I'm just bringing up his name because 8 people came forward today, and he's a very high-profile broadcaster.
No, 8 people didn't come together today. What happened was...
I know
Okay.
I know how that happens.
Right, that's what they've announced. But I think the more interesting thing is we have to look at how these claims are affecting also the larger population. So now Jeffrey Tambor has decided to leave Transparent because of the fact that the claims, he says the claims are ridiculous and he doesn't want to be associated with the show because of that. So now the show is in the middle of production, I believe. What happens to all the people with the jobs? What about them? Look what happened with House of Cards when Kevin Spacey got fired. They had to shut down production. Do you know nearly 3,000 people in Maryland are losing their jobs?
Who cares? No, I'm joking. No, that is a very good point. Is that these giants of industry, such as Louis C.K., Kevin Spacey, Charlie Rose, all these guys.
Weinstein, Brett Ratner.
The people below them suffer more because a lot of them are out of jobs if they're in production or if they're somewhat,
Because these guys are still millionaires tomorrow. Yeah. Nothing's happening to them. I mean, Bill O'Reilly had to pay, how much was it, $32 million or something? He's still a millionaire, multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
No, he's not impacted. So I think the bigger question is, what exactly are they doing with these investigations? Like they're conducting investigations and so forth. What are they finding in these investigations? When do they decide if it's criminal or not? How's it happening? Because I've done investigations on harassment before, and there's a very fine line between what is disciplinary, what isn't. But most of the times, it doesn't impact the livelihood of so many people.
Well, can you tell us about a particular case? You don't have to give any names of the company you worked at, but can you give us kind of a funny case? Or actually, why would it be funny? Can you give us an example?
An example that a lot of people aren't familiar with, or they think, they would like to have it, like I know Justin would, is if they have a female boss and the female boss was sexually harassing a employee who happens to be male. It does happen more often than you think, and sometimes, there's some confusion and there's some blurriness in the lines in terms of what's allowable, what's not allowable. And in this particular case, the person just felt like if he wasn't engaged with his boss in intercourse, then he was going to lose his job. So he had to bang the boss to keep his job, in other words.
A guy to a female to a male?
Yeah, female boss, yeah. So
I don't think that's against the law. Sorry.
Right, but in this case, he felt like his job was in jeopardy based on things that his boss said and so forth. And she honestly thought they were dating. So there was some confusion in those lines as well, too. So my point is that it's a very, that took us, months to investigate because you have such huge varying accusations and stuff. The outcome was that it was a blurry line. We had to change the gentleman's position within the company. The person, she showed us emails and so forth, so we could see why she believed they were dating and believed that the relationship was...
Oh my God, she believed that they were dating? She must have been psychotic.
No, she's not psychotic. I mean, you could see in the communications between the two of them and stuff. But it was one of those situations where it was easily rectified in this situation. And nobody lost their jobs. And a lot of times, depending on...
Which is kind of weird, but...
No, because of the blurring of the lines. So you said you wanted a weird one. This is a weird one. But there are times where the person is engaged and harassing and so forth. And they get suspended without pay. They may get, demoted. They may get relegated to another division. Or they get fired. But it doesn't impact at such a large degree as it is right now.
The weird thing with the Louis C.K., the Harvey Weinstein, and pretty much everyone else, what's going to happen from here? Is there going to be a lawsuit against these particular individuals? Is there going to be...
Well, isn't that what the whole thing with the NDAs is under review for right now? So now Congress passed the law that said NDAs can't be signed for sexual assault.
What's going to happen with 8 people came against Charlie Rose. So obviously if there's 8 people, there has to be a class action suit against him. I don't know. What could they do?
Well, first of all, they have to investigate what exactly it was that he did and so forth and understand.
If there's no for instance, I'm sure there's no evidence, meaning that I don't think anyone taped this because that tape would have been leaked already. So how does this happen? Where is he fired? I don't know what happened to him.
They said that the shows were suspended, or he was taken away
Damn,
from
he must feel
shows.
like a complete douche.
Well, I would think anybody who does that is a complete douche.
No, I'd say he must feel like a complete
No,
douche.
I'm saying,
because,
but anybody who does it should be.
but he
a
was
complete
just
douche.
recently talking about how he was against this and he was a champion for women. I mean, he's been saying this for years, and then something like this happens, and it must just be like, what the hell is going on here?
Well, you also have like the flip side of it. Also, you have people who are accusing people, and they have no evidence that this actually happened. You know, didn't Sylvester Stallone get accused the other day? And he was like,
Yeah, he fought against it and said this is not true, whatever.
Ryan
So I'm not sure.
Seacrest was accused, and he's
Hey,
like, listen,
hey.
I'll cooperate, I'll do whatever. I didn't do it. End of conversation. Do what
Yeah.
you need to do. I mean, that's another thing is like if people are willing to cooperate and be part of the investigation, then you know that that it's being alluded that they did something when they didn't. So that's the other thing is that it's going to take away from a lot of people is their validity by making accusations and claims and not coming
Without any proof.
But I think the stranger thing for me, I can't speak for you, but the stranger thing for me is that the minute
Stranger Things?
yeah, the sequel is that the minute this happens in a corporation, you automatically report it. You don't worry about your job. You don't worry about not getting hired for the next opportunity and so forth. It's not even a question. This is so bizarre to me that all these people had these things going on for years.
Well, we could tell you why. Is because through our meetings and being here in Los Angeles and speaking with a lot of actors and producers and writers who are, let's say, not on the inside, everyone's extremely afraid to say anything about any wrongdoing in fears that they would be, what they all say, blackballed. Blacklisted, blackballed, whatever it is. I mean,
it's literally the McCarthy era we've stepped into.
Yeah, I mean, in 2017, I think that's physically impossible to blackball someone.
Blacklist.
The same thing.
Is it?
Yeah, come on.
Okay.
Anyways, this was our first little shindig. I'm going to leave you with something really funny. And if you can name the movie...
Is it you farting in my face again?
No. If you can name the movie, which you should be able to, you could get a free...
Don't offer my services again,
resume from Natasha Prasad.
I just told you.
She is one of the best in her field. Google her.
Oh my gosh.
She's an HR executive at Goldman Sachs.
Like he keeps offering my resume writing capabilities to people on the streets. I'm inundated. But if you guys need help, I'll be happy to help you. I mean, that's a different conversation.
So please listen to us every day. This was just a shitstorm of whatever. We'll get it better. We'll tune it up.
We should actually do one about our drive out here.
Yeah, that's the next one. Is our drive from New York to here to Los Angeles in the middle of the fucking goddamn summer. 110 degrees at nighttime in Nevada.
You know, in case any of you were curious, white people do melt in the heat.
Okay, so ready? Listen to this.
Mr. Madison, what you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Okay, a simple wrong would have done just fine, but
You remain one.
I have to tell you, if you changed him from saying Mr. Madison to Justin, I have the same thoughts consistently all the time sometimes.
All right. Well, on that note, I've been beat up enough from Natasha's drunken 2 bottles of one night yesterday, beating me up, saying all these weird things. Anyways, we'll talk to you soon. And as we say at the end of all of our shows, go fuck yourself.
We don't.
I'm joking. It's just a joke.
We might as well.
Godspeed. As Charlie Rose says, my career's over.
Bye.
Bye.